I just want to come back to what you were talking there, Mikkel, about the role of the domain expert, understanding the use case and the human side of the systems that you were designing. I think you sort of used a great illustration there of being able to evolve the way in which the people in the land-based vehicles communicated where they wanted to go through drawing as opposed through text. Yeah. Now, you've said in the past that, and I'm going to quote you now, users can be highly unpredictable when subjected to high-stress environments.
Yeah.
And I imagine in a military context that high-stress environments are under fire situations, and the cost of making a mistake in those situations can be extremely high. It's never a high price to pay than loss of life. How do you accommodate for that unpredictability during the design of a mission-critical system? How do you get a real feel for or know for certain that you've covered off the range of responses that might come up in a highly intense situation like an under fire situation?
That's a good question. The accurateness of design, it needs to be there whatever you design. Of course, you need to make sure that the error margins are less in terms of bad things that are able to happen if the user doesn't perform what they're supposed to do. Like you would with a GPS system, you would want to direct the user and not have them, drive off the road at some point. So of course you need to know what are the limits within the user, in which the user can act safely and not cause harm to themselves or others. So these are some constraints you need to know. You need to lay down these constraints and say, okay, I need to make absolutely sure that the user cannot go into these areas of insecurity where this safety is concerned. And so what those constraints might be depends, of course, entirely on the design you're making. You need to, draw up those limitations and say, okay, I need to make sure that the user cannot wander off into these. That doesn't mean that the user cannot make an error with your design or the system in such. It's not your design, it's the system itself. Any system that allows for human input can somehow be, misused by the person using it. And that is what is so exciting about designing for these safety critical systems, these mission critical systems. And they come in all shapes or forms. You can be designing, industrial interfaces for electricity or who knows what, elevators, vehicles, aviation, military, law enforcement, and all of this, the safety of human life is involved. And I think many times in these systems, it's actually the designer's responsibility to add safety to a system that is inherently dangerous. So again, I think so that's why I'm saying that I'm pretty unapologetic about working in the military context, because we are pushing something that actually has an inherently dangerous nature and pushing it in a more human and safe direction because of this error handling capacity of good design. Whereas, the lack of the same thing would actually make a system more dangerous. If you didn't have a good designer for a car, or you didn't have so-and-so for this interface, it would actually be, more dangerous, less effective.
For the operators.
Yeah, for the operators, exactly. So I think it's just, it's an important challenge. It's a good challenge to be in that safe of actually enhancing the safety of a system.